This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, April 4th. It's the meeting of the Senior Center Building Committee, and we will call the meeting to order at 12:33. That's an important number.
I wrote it down already.
Okay, you're good. And thank you, Dennis, is taking minutes. And we did add, just this morning, executive session to the end of the meeting to discuss the offer and counter offer. So we will have that, which you weren't aware of unless you sign up for those email things.
I did see that. I was aware.
Oh, good. Open time for the public. I don't see anybody from the public here, so we're good there. Approval of minutes. Anybody have any, want to make a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, do we have a second? Second by Christina. Any discussion at all? Anybody want to challenge? I know she does send them to me beforehand. And I might catch one or two minor things, but she does great minutes.
Yeah.
So no pressure, Dennis. All in favor of the minutes? Thank you. Okay, so let me close this one up. Okay, next steps. So we said the next step is really an update on the discussion, but we'll do that in executive session at the end of the meeting. I don't have that language in front of me, but I will go grab that before we go into executive session. Any update on the title search or the wetlands delineation, Scott? Are we on hold?
I reached out to Mark. He got me the quote. Everything's all set, although he does need written permission from the landowner, so I'm trying to get that.
Oh, okay.
But you'd be all set to go.
Okay, for both of those things, or just the wetlands? That title or the wetlands?
He doesn't do the title.
He doesn't do the title, yeah, I didn't think. And anything with the titles, or we're just not pursuing that? Okay, too quickly. All right. And our purchase and sale will kind of be dependent on the title search anyway, right? So, okay, let me just see where my agenda went to. Okay. All right. Review update on the article. Are we pretty well finished with the article for the? So we're set with all the changes we made last time.
Yep, I'm gonna present it to the select board on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, okay.
But yeah, everything was updated.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're talking about the warrant for?
The article that'll be on the warrant for the town meeting, yep. And that's Tuesday the 9th, is that the 9th? Yes. And we are in April, right? Okay, so subcommittee. Would you like to, I can bring that up unless it's disappeared on me. Again, I don't know why these things are disappearing, but no, that's the other one. I had it here a minute ago. Nope, okay. We save these things to the bottom and then we do that. Let me bring that up for everybody to kind of view together.
It's right on the top there.
Yeah. There you go. And I'll view it in. So it gets a little bit larger. Can you see okay, Jerry?
Mm-hmm.
You have the copy,
I
right?
got it.
Okay, good.
Well,
All right.
wanna look at this?
No, it's yours.
So did everybody get a chance? I mean, 3 of you were on the committee, so
Can you make it a little bit bigger?
it's fine on my screen.
The only thing that, I try not to read too much into it, but all the town.
You go to the web Facebook page?
Yeah, every once in
Yes.
a while I get sucked in.
I've never gone.
Don't do it.
I don't
Don't do it.
plan on it.
I just thought maybe to add to the past that the board or the committee at the time did have conversations about a combined safety, and one, because of the will, we were not able to do that, and two, both the safety complex and the professionals on senior citizen or senior centers all thought it was a very bad idea for numerous
Yeah, that it
reasons.
wasn't necessarily ideal to have them all
Together.
located in the same complex, and there was a strong, I mean, even to me, more importantly, is that the community said they wanted the senior center more centralized. They saw all the properties that we were looking at. There is no defined public safety location at the moment that's passed or anything, so I mean, we know we have a donation of some sort, so that, you know, we listened to
We listened to
the community,
the
you know,
community and the professionals.
and
so-
felt that that was an ideal location.
Well, I'm thinking if you put something like that in this paragraph, and plus, like it says, Abacus recommended 89 Clark Street, I was thinking maybe we could add something about the feasibility committee agreed, and
Right.
the community, from community input.
Well, and I, you know,
I know we don't
and
want
it
to get
wasn't
it too
even,
long.
I wouldn't even say that Abacus, I mean, they did their pros and cons study at the time, so at the time, that scored the highest, so even if we said that location scored the highest during the study, and that at the public meeting on March 1st of '23, there was a strong emphasis.
That's the one that was at the school?
Yes, at Norris, that was there was a strong desire from the community to have it more centrally located near the ball fields, near the library, near the, you know, pickleball courts, the bike path. And I would even, if it's possible, just pull out from the study, Darcy, there's the blurb, I think it was maybe even Jim Sini, and the way he's kind of summarized it. I mean, I would, you know, quote from that March 1st meeting from a resident taxpayer
Okay.
in town. You know, I think
Yep.
that summarized why we went there. But
Right.
yes, I saw that comment too, but it's,
Yeah, I kind of just felt like, because I feel like people are going to, it's going to come up at the
Oh, sure.
meeting, so I just felt like by saying that it's, you know, it wasn't just a small few that chose,
Mhm.
that felt this way. It was because of all the input that we have gotten, both from professionals and townspeople.
right. And they did say it was, Abacus did comment, and I don't know if it's in the study or not, that to have the senior center and the public safety at the same location wasn't an ideal location.
Right. But we were also talking about not making it, you know, you could almost say, you know, review the feasibility study or
That-
whatever.
yeah, that's
And
weird.
you're trying to break it down so it's not going to take too long. and
Right,
Yeah, you don't want-
So,
too much information,
Yeah,
right?
too
Yeah,
much.
Yeah.
It's trying to keep that.
it's a balance.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
was the
balance.
balance we were trying to
Because everything you
find.
bring up could be then become another
Oh, right,
discussion
we could,
point.
right, we
Yeah,
could.
so I think that last sentence that, you know, at the conclusion, Abacus recommended, I think that's where you could have modified
Modify
Right.
what
that
you've just been
part.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's not 89 Clark's, no S.
Yeah, I already took
Yeah.
that out. I realized it as I was looking
Yes.
here.
Just to reiterate, this is a draft.
Visually.
Yeah, it's just kind of to give you guys more of a visual idea of what we were thinking, and, you know, obviously it needs to be formatted.
Yes, it's a very
cleaned
much a
up.
draft.
It's very much a draft.
Yeah.
So just a thought in terms of just the background on Red's picture. I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe a lighter background than a gray. I mean, you can't,
Yeah,
I mean,
here.
from a distance, you certainly can't see it.
I was
But
gonna
I'm
go
really-
through all my
Yeah.
stuff too, because that was the one
Yeah.
that I had available. I have nicer pictures of him.
That's a
maybe-
placeholder or something.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a placeholder.
yeah, because I have some, you know, nicer pictures of him on the farm that I thought would be
Yeah.
nicer, but I
Yeah.
just had to dig through.
Sure.
Yep.
That'd be
And
great.
didn't have the time to
Yeah,
do that.
or have a
so.
portrait and a farm with both. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever you can fit. You know.
yeah, I just thought that would, you know, I just kind of threw that in
Yeah.
almost
Yeah,
as
that's
a last
fine.
thought
Yeah.
to, like, we should recognize him.
No, that's great. And even if we want to say thank you or something.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, I don't know if we need to do the exact dollar amount, a donation just over $2.4 million or something, you know.
I didn't know what, so I left that blank, and I left blank the date. I didn't know if we needed to put in the date that we found out, or the date that,
You got the money, or?
the date,
past.
maybe the letter that we were notified, just to say, like, since that date is when we actually started, so we've been working on this for.
So I think it was July of '22 that we received a letter from the executors, and that was our first notification. We weren't aware of the actual funding until early of '23.
So what, July
Or was
20
it, no, maybe it was '21. We
Yeah.
found out in '21.
Because you had a meeting
We
in
got-
April of 23.
Right, because it
Yeah,
was right
so-
after shortly after he passed.
Right, so that was '21. So in early '22, we were made aware of the, approximate dollar amount, or the dollar amount.
That must have been exciting.
So,
Yeah. So-
the question then is, when that's out there, is someone going to be able to answer the question of what have we done with that money so far?
Yeah, I think, we've met, and maybe, I don't know if that's maybe more of a town
See, I thought that would be an
administration.
offshoot. That's why I thought you didn't put the money down in there, because
Yeah.
that would lead to other discussions.
I mean,
I mean, there's not hiding, I mean, we know what,
right, we spent $60,000 on a feasibility study.
Yeah, so should we
but
be
that
ready
was-
to answer that, or?
But we didn't get the money until after we completed the feasibility study.
Right.
So we didn't receive the funding. We were made aware of the dollar amount, but the funding we didn't receive until December of '23, right?
So how was Abacus paid in the meantime?
Well, we had a contract with them for $60,000. When we were paid a fifth, throughout the 6 months. It was divided in fifths. So at certain benchmarks, we paid them a fifth, and the attorney would reach out to the executor.
So it came from
So
the
it
estate?
came
so
the
we
estate.
didn't have-
So, yeah, we
Right.
were guaranteed,
Yeah,
the
yes.
senior center was guaranteed 25%, which that amount was already
Yeah.
known.
I see, okay.
And we just didn't know, because like the stocks and all that
Right.
was still being sold.
I
So
see.
there was that much to cover, that much that was already early known in the estate.
But I think by the time we knew the approximate dollar amount by the time the feasibility study began.
So we actually received, because we received, because I remember an actual check
Yeah.
for the roughly 2.4 million, but you actually had already gotten 60,000.
Right.
So we actually got
little bit more,
bit
yeah.
more, yeah.
I mean, I think, my thought of putting a dollar amount in there, and I think just over 2.4, it was just to kind of let the townspeople know that while they're there voting, that yes, we do have the money to move
Yeah.
forward with this.
I think it's important.
I think that's
Yeah, you don't want
everybody's,
to, yeah, I agree.
everybody's stress. I think that's the big things, is we have the money and we cannot put it towards anything else.
Right.
We would not be here if this had not happened.
Right.
I mean, whether we buy property at College Highway or here, it's going to be money spent. Whether it's
Right.
together in a complex, we're still going to need the same property in it.
Right.
So I guess when people say that, why don't you make it just one big complex? Well, you still need property to build a building.
We need two
So-
separate buildings, we need
Yes.
two separate driveways. It's ultimately two separate entities, just whether we're neighbors or a distant neighbor.
Yeah, right. And it was really the community that really provided the feedback for 89 Clark.
I'm just wondering,
More than just the
the very
committee.
first sentence, just to go back to that.
Mhm.
So we right after the blank there, it's like, for our new senior center, this money can only be used for a senior center. I think I would just not put in the both of them. I would think I would just a generous donation.
For a new senior center, period.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that what you mean?
You
Yeah.
can say
To
donation
be used
exclusively to be used for.
Specifically,
senior center,
exclusively,
specifically,
yeah.
Exclusively,
Somebody's probably gonna ask how much was given and how much is left.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
gonna be, yeah, that's why I just brought it up, yeah.
Yeah, so I
We'll
mean,
be ready to answer, that's,
yeah, I mean, maybe even Jen or the treasurer, because the money was, put into an account through the town, and she's divided it up into certain areas and left enough out to purchase the property and take care of this first step. So the rest is invested, and I don't know if either Scott, you or Jen, I don't know who would be best to speak to
I'm curious
that.
how
but-
much is left.
No, well, we know that 60,000
Well, we
has
still have
already been used.
$2.4 million.
Right, but how much is left out of that?
We still
all
have
of it.
Oh, you still
2.4
got the
million.
whole thing?
Yeah, so we're closer, I mean, we spent down, but what the check was that we got after we spent the
After you spent the
60,000.
$60,000.
After you
So
spent the
we spent the
60,000,
60,
you got
and then we got the
balance.
check, so the check was for just over $2.4 million, so.
So I'll take out date, because there's so many dates that might be confusing.
Yeah.
I'll just take that right out.
I mean, you can
Well-
say December of 2023 is when he made a generous the town received a generous donation from David Red Parsons, because that's when we received it, right?
I have the breakdown from Jen in terms of the investment, if that's helpful.
Yeah, I mean, you want to just share it with everybody? Yeah.
So Jen said she posted 2,432,769.59 to the Parsons Gift Fund, account number blah, blah, blah. This amount includes a donation plus an additional interest of $147.47. So there's basically 2.4 million is in the Parsons Gift Fund. 40,000 was not invested, as it will be used for legal costs and the appraisal. And she invested 800,000 into a 6-month treasury, and the remaining 1.5, almost 1.6 million into a 1-year treasury. So we were trying to estimate what we
should we write
needed
that down?
upfront. So
I think
800,000 is available for over in a 6-month period. So this would have been,
I'm trying to find that email.
when did she put that in there? I'm thinking it was January-ish.
24?
Yeah.
Because you got the money in 12/23, right?
We got the check, but we had to
Check.
determine how much to deposit, and
Yeah.
I'm looking, okay, new mental health, that's not Jen, that's not the one I'm looking for.
It's on 321, when she
Okay.
sent back to us.
That's 320, so maybe it is. Okay, here we go.
So take out the 2.4, so just put David Parsons made a very generous donation.
No, I think putting in it's actually.
I think you gotta probably put the
Yeah, if you
2.4 in
add
there.
the-
If you don't put it in there, I think
What
it'll be
was-
I think
more
so.
I mean, what was that exact
contentious.
number? I might as
Here,
well put the
yeah.
exact number.
I'm sending that breakdown to everybody,
Okay,
so.
what she's got here, though, 2.432, and we already had 60 spent, so you can say nearly $2.5 million. Just do it that way. No?
Mm-hmm.
Because there was some interest included, you don't have to do all that level.
Yeah, I know, yeah, yeah.
So just
Yeah.
nearly
How come
$2.5
this is
million.
not,
Some.
Yeah, I'll send it, so
Yeah.
this is what Chris is reading.
Right.
Okay.
So essentially, some is, intentionally left liquid that we can access for legal costs and immediate needs. Some is invested into short-term treasury amount. And then the balance is in at least a year-long treasury account at I think it's 4.8 interest.
Have we already
The
paid
3-year.
for the appraisal?
Have we paid the appraisal, or do we have the invoice for the appraisal? I mean, I know we've contracted to
Invoice
have
came
it,
in,
so
I
it's
don't know if it's on
$2,500,
the-
which will come out of part of this
Yeah.
lump sum, the 800,000 in the
It's come in,
6-month
it
treasure.
may not have actually been paid out yet.
Right,
It's
but it's
coming.
Okay, so I don't know if you can read this up here,
No.
but I'll send this, I'll copy and send this out to you guys. And that way we have that,
So just to say, with the interest rates that were looking fairly good,
Yeah.
close to 5%, we didn't want to, have it all in just sitting in an account doing nothing. So
Right.
we figured out a little bit that we might need immediately, and then a middle term, and then a year down the line, so.
Yeah,
So we figured out a little bit that we might need immediately, and then a year down the line, so. So we figured out a little bit that we might need immediately, and then a middle term, and then a year down the line, so. And that can always, be reinvested, changed, whatever, but that's where it is right now. Okay.
So the remaining 1.59276959 in a one-year treasury, but yeah, so so I'll send this out and we can just have the information ready to, I mean, one of us can speak to it, I mean, but if Jen is the treasurer and she wants to, that's her.
Well, if she's there. I mean,
Yeah.
So I mean, she may not be there, I wouldn't count on that, so one of us needs to be able to say.
Yeah.
I mean, she might get it, I don't know.
Do we have any
Okay.
other comments on present, future?
Okay,
I
so
had a question on the future page.
let's
Let's just
go
do
through the
present
present
first.
first and then,
So this year, the first one this year, that means since January? What?
Yeah, I know, I was, that was my first thought,
First bullet.
it was fiscal year. But I didn't, so.
is that
since-
FY 24, 23 then? Or is
No,
that up
it's
to date
FY
on
it's-
24?
yeah.
Okay.
So then say since July, because people.
Okay,
don't
I
keep
know,
fiscal
I
years in
know.
their head.
I know.
Since July.
Oops.
So 397 since July?
Yes,
That doesn't seem like very many.
Well, we only have one little room, that's the,
Well, I know that.
yeah.
I mean, just that Sarah the Fiddler thing. How many, there were like, 100 people
Well, that's
there?
individual people.
right, it's
So-
right.
They-
It doesn't mean, yeah, someone could be coming
Five
three
times.
three times a week, but they're only counted
one
once.
Yeah.
So, right, it doesn't seem like it expresses our crowds, but that's
No.
individual people. But if you're thinking that, then maybe it's not good to mention that number, because if that actually sounds low to people, then that's not having the intended point.
And you get that in, how do you get that?
I got it from my senior center.
So when you walk in, every time you log into my senior center
Once you log
screen-
in.
And I
Right.
mean, and that's another
Tracks
point
it.
too, it's, not everyone signs in,
So you can't get the total N?
I'm sorry, what
I
was
mean, the total number, you can't get the total number of times people checked in. Because the
Oh.
total number of times they checked in is not 397.
No, I could get that
Yeah,
number,
I
I
think
just,
that would be more.
So why don't we look at
Okay,
that number
all
instead,
right.
I think is what,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if Dennis
Okay.
came 5 times, he'd have.
Yeah,
right, right.
that would be 5
So
times.
it's the total number of.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
Level
writing
of
on your
activity.
copy.
It's the level of
Yeah.
activity, not necessarily the number of people. I think that's what you
Sorry.
want to. Never mind.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think, just to
Okay.
change that to has been visited
Yeah.
X number of times, so that'll be a much larger
Yeah,
number.
so You definitely want to show the level of activity, not just bodies walking in the
Right,
door.
that's right.
Right.
Yeah, my
That's-
thought when I wrote that was that we're reaching that many people, but yeah, I get what.
It'll be more than double that.
But it was
probably.
important, your feedback, because that told me, okay, that's probably how people are gonna react, that's low, so.
Yeah, but because like if somebody comes every week, that's like 45 weeks.
Yeah,
45
no,
visits.
exactly, it's a much bigger number, yeah.
Yeah.
So can we start with how many seniors are in Southampton? Is that here somewhere? So
That's
if we're
in-
looking at
that's
the
in
That's
future.
in the,
Oh, that's in the future?
Yeah.
Okay.
but if
But
it
it could
makes
be
more
that-
sense
yeah,
to
Yeah,
put it,
we can move these
The
things
whole
around.
idea was to lay it out and then see where you want to
Yeah, that's why we're.
move it around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I mean, does that make sense to say the senior
Yeah.
population
yeah,
as of,
absolutely.
So move that from future to.
And I got
Yeah,
that from
that makes
Lucy
sense
last,
to
that
me.
was from Lucy last week. so.
Right,
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, just to even put the current population of 60 and older is 2138 at the beginning, you know.
Mhm.
And maybe you want to do both
Yeah,
those
both
bullets.
of them.
Because that's not really the future as much as it is
I mean,
the current, right?
also the 50 to 60 people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and people that'll, yeah, is that number somewhere?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Future page.
Okay, yep, that makes sense.
So we're moving most of the demographics to the present. Is that what you're saying?
Well, if they're current
Yeah.
versus future.
So, and I mean, we really could even just totally take out the label. I mean, that's kind of just
We
how we
could.
broke it up to our things.
We are responsible for different
So
sections.
we could just take that out, like future, and just kind of blend them all
Right.
together. So it's,
Yeah,
you know, and whether the bullet points help, they don't help, you know, we can format it however, it doesn't have to say past, present, you know.
Yeah, I mean, did you share the senior center? I know you shared it with Dennis. Did you, from my senior center, the guy from Lifespan and the statistics that were there, that new buildings?
No, just
have-
to you two, actually.
So maybe, I mean, you might want to look at that and say for, you know, based on,
Mhm.
you know, studies done by so-and-so. So it's not just this biased group saying it, so.
Yep.
But there have been studies, so Lifespan was one of the companies that worked with EDM. So, that didn't do our feasibility study, but came in number 2. But would probably be somebody that would participate, potentially at least respond to an RFQ for the
Right, because
future
they
one.
had really, they did a lot of senior
Yeah,
centers
they
around
did
the
Hadley,
country.
they did
and-
South Hadley.
Yeah, I mean, countrywide.
Yeah, countrywide,
So
so.
they really have a lot of knowledge.
Okay,
And I can expand or contract for that matter. I was just trying to get the basic points that I thought were important to mention, but I'm not certainly in love with how it's necessarily said or broken up,
are
but,
you the future? Are these your
I'm the
bullets?
present.
You're the present, okay.
I was the
Let me go
future.
back to the,
oh, sorry. We went past the present.
well, we talked about, yeah.
Yeah,
Grab some of the future and put it in the present.
Yeah.
yeah.
In the present thing, I'm wondering if we need to clarify for the general public about this weekly lunch program, that it's not prepared there, that it's had, because you can't have a
That's a
kitchen.
good
This
point.
year,
That's a
weekly
good
lunch.
point.
It has to be
Began
brought in.
Yes, that it's, yeah, the
Provided
lunch.
through Highland Valley.
Yes.
I would combine bullet 2 and 3 and just not make that
Yeah,
a separate
absolutely,
bullet.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's a for example, so, yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Highland Valley, you know, so, since we are unable to have any food
in
programs,
the current, right,
You
in
know,
the
so
current
some-
space.
the reason we're going to Highland Valley, besides that they offer it,
Right.
is that we can't do anything like that in our current space.
Yeah,
And you might, I don't know if you've got an average or, I mean, I don't think it would hurt to say that serving,
yep,
50 people every whatever.
yep.
Whatever it might be. And again, just trying to show the need and the interest.
Yeah,
And I think, you know, I mean, I believe the building, the limit is 75 people
Yeah.
in
It
that
is,
room.
that's what it says.
So, okay, so is that here somewhere? Did I,
no.
because I think, you know, we're limited at this time to a maximum of 75 people. So, I mean, it's,
Fourth bullet, our space is 1 room,
Mhm.
maximum capacity 75.
Mm-hmm,
Put something in there.
yeah, that's a good point.
And we could do different pictures too. I just pulled those out of the feasibility study.
Yeah.
But we could, you know, if you wanted to focus in a better picture of like what the exercise equipment
Yeah,
looks like.
that for
or,
sure.
You know, we can always
Come here, where'd you go?
add some photos, you know,
Ooh.
Jeez.
do more or less or whatever.
You
know,
can take
again,
this one picture of me walking
you
into the
out.
building out if you.
Yeah, yeah, again, it was kind of just like to
Just
give a
lumped
together.
visual of
Placeholders.
placeholders and,
Yeah, even the bullet points are kind of placeholders that this is what we want to get across, but
Yeah.
not necessarily
Yep.
in that wording.
And you might want to do like maybe 4 pictures so you could have it bigger or something.
yeah.
Yeah, some of them are a little dark, but that's.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, if we, did, like, you know, we can definitely
I think
format
I think
things
the
better
office-
with just kind of an idea.
Or one of the crowded office, one of the
Yeah,
overall floor plan out there. I think those 2 are probably
Yeah.
keepers. I don't think I.
you can skip the
one.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what the middle one is on the bottom. I can't.
yeah, I don't know, that was
That's
like
the
a whole
closet.
section I just took out of.
Yeah, that's the storage facility.
That's what we need for the capital improvement committee,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah,
I think it's even worse than this.
It
though.
is actually, I'm like,
This
that
is
looks
an
pretty
older
good.
It's gotten more crowded.
yeah, so maybe even just new pictures that
Yeah.
are brighter and, you
And
know,
like
a
you
little
said,
more.
I
I
mean,
think-
Tony has pictures too, right? I mean, that he sends to you from activities. Does that show, we have a picture
Yeah.
of the parking lot.
Yeah, I was
on an
just, the
active
only
day.
thing I thought, like, with pictures, I mean, these I kind of, because they were already out in the public, I
Mhm.
didn't, you know, I didn't know, like, pictures of people actually in there, like,
We try to do backs of heads and things like that.
Okay, yeah. 'cause that's what
Or
I-
I'll
we don't
say
wanna-
something before a function, like if any, which admittedly isn't the best way to do it, because someone might not want to openly raise their hands, but I do say, tell me, you can come and tell me if you don't want to be in a picture.
Yeah,
But
Or
we would try to
do-
get to either just,
Yeah.
yeah, something
That's
that's
not-
not, yeah,
too
I wouldn't want to put, somebody sitting in the
Right?
town meeting and be like, that's me, like Janet, you got my bum
There's
coming in
mine.
the door.
But I do think the parking lot, that was a good idea you just mentioned, because that's along with the space too. We don't have space for parking.
challenge. So I don't know if anybody's taking pictures of the parking lot. I don't know.
Well,
if
I can
have any.
certainly run out on a lunch bingo day or
Or a
big
coffee
lunch.
Wednesday.
Right,
Wednesday.
yeah, Wednesday in general.
Right, Wednesday, all day Wednesday.
Even the Healthy Bones on Tuesdays, I think the
Yeah,
parking lot's got to
yeah.
be pretty packed, so.
Yeah, I think two things right at the end of the next to last bullet. The last phrase there, start to arrive for the next activity, which is often scheduled immediately following the current activity.
Due to,
If I was a person, I would just, not knowing.
No,
anything,
I know, I
so
made a
schedule
note.
better. I mean,
Right.
That wouldn't.
I
mean,
know,
No, I'm just
yeah.
trying to be.
Yeah,
yeah,
And that's
due to
what I
the,
need to hear, yeah, no.
Yeah.
yeah, due to the space yeah, no,
So you
you're
don't-
right, you're right.
enough, but don't put in too much that leads somebody to ask a question
Yeah,
Question we didn't.
that we don't,
yep,
yeah, so I think you could just, start to arrive for the next activity,
Period. yeah.
creating whatever,
right.
Yeah, nothing to do with the
overflow, but
scheduling, that
something, I
people
mean-
arrive, early
Yeah.
for the next activity and,
creating a mini traffic jam or something. I mean, not that, but I mean,
yeah.
Yep,
but I think I would.
no, you're absolutely
Careful.
right.
Yeah,
As I read that,
maybe
you're
take
right.
that whole portion right out. Because
Well, what I
then
was-
below, you kind of have it down below where you're saying activities are almost always
Right.
occurring at the same time.
I guess what I was trying to express was about the noise that because we don't have, because of the space, hence we don't have, we have to cram all our activities in back to back, that this is a big noise. This is where a lot of the complaints come from, is the next activity is coming in when this current one is still happening. And
Some of
that's
the
what I was-
challenges of a single room.
Right.
Yes.
So that's what I was trying to express, but yes, I understand it does not.
Yeah.
Just say, don't
It made
mess with
sense
the
to
bingo.
me.
Can we maybe phrase it that way? of like,
Yeah.
Because of the single room and limited capacity,
Yeah.
the challenges are.
Yeah.
Right.
There's the
Transition from
there's the
one-
tendency for overlapping something.
Yeah.
And due
Because,
to
I
the socialization, people need to socialize,
Yeah.
there's
Right.
often, because I think talking about a little bit about the socialization and the value of the center, other than just the schedules and the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Right.
people don't want to.
And if somebody's enjoying talking to somebody, I want to be like, get out, the next class is here.
I know, it
That
is.
happens.
Right. It's very tricky.
No.
Yeah, and I don't know what I think about the exercise equipment one either. So that very few people use them. But,
Well, I
Because
think
it's-
a picture could, I guess, again, I was thinking about versus, wouldn't it be so nice to have an exercise room in a new building? Because our so-called exercise space is very sad right now. But I think it would help with a picture. So either we don't say it or we say it with a picture.
I think that's kind of an important thing because
I think it is too.
Yeah.
so many people are going to the gym that, but I have heard from people, who wants to exercise, with everybody
In the
standing there
middle of
looking at
chaos.
them.
Yeah.
Right, so, we thought that if there was like a photo of a nice, I think somewhere, I thought I had popped it in there, maybe
In the
at the end,
future.
I threw it in there, yeah, of like a,
It's right there, yeah.
a nicer gym, which is one of the photos, I think they had. Those were, I think, from the study too, or maybe I think those were from the study.
Yeah, they were from
Kind
the
of showing
study.
like a nicer gym so people can see themselves like, yeah, I'd use that gym,
Right.
Where if you see a gym, with,
Two things.
a Spanish class and a card game
Yeah.
where you can touch them,
Yeah.
nobody's
It's not
gonna
gonna
wanna
do
be
that.
sweating on a machine.
No.
That's why I put in the future, that's why, I
Yeah.
put it at a gym, and it's $550 a year.
Yeah.
So you could, how about something like, we currently have 2 pieces of underutilized equipment
Yep.
crammed into the room because there is no privacy,
Right.
period.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Or underutilized, I don't know.
Because there's no separate facility.
Or just start out, there is no privacy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lack of privacy, but,
We,
yeah.
we have 2 pieces of underutilized exercise equipment,
Due to a lack of privacy.
something, I mean,
Yeah.
crammed into the room or something like that. I mean, just,
Yeah.
you can say that they're underutilized, you can say that few people are using them without saying few people are using them.
Right,
You know,
right, I get it,
Yeah,
yeah.
just catch it a little differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
No, that's all
No,
very
it's good,
helpful,
'cause
yeah.
it's good to get other people's opinions, because everybody thinks differently.
Yeah, but let's go to the,
So I don't know if there's anything we want to say about, loneliness is,
Isolation stuff?
isolation,
Need-
and so
need
the
for-
critical need for.
Any of the new places have spent quite a bit of room for
For
just
social,
people for
yeah.
the socialization without anything else. Just
Right.
people
well,
sitting
that-
down in couches and
Yeah, and
talking
that's
to
a
each other.
good point. We, again,
Um,
because of the one room, we don't
You don't have an area.
Right. We have the coffee hour where it's just about social, but other than that, right, we don't have
Because
that.
I don't know if we can look at a quick, and I don't know if there's anything in the study, I'm trying to remember, about the level of isolation as we age and the need for
That
socialization.
was in a
and-
feasibility study, something.
Yeah, I'm
like pieces
thinking
of
there's
it.
something we could pull out from that
Okay.
that might, help us to, because it's not just about the activities, it's also
Yeah.
the need, for
Yeah,
people, whether they're, single now, and
right.
so I think we need those heartstrings.
Yeah.
again, it's all, again, the purpose of what are you trying to do with this handout?
Mhm.
What do you want people to walk away knowing? Do you want, excitement about their, informative about what happens right now at the senior center? Or you're building a constituency to
Support the
I think
future.
follow you along, or both? or-
You're concurrently trying to explain that a lot of things are going on
Mhm.
under undue circumstances, with problems,
Under
but
very
you
limited
also,
circumstances.
but also say, in a new building, we could do a lot more,
Mhm.
and so you're trying to represent both
Yeah, so just,
phases.
you just have to be clear in terms of what the message is, what things you want to get out, because otherwise you can go down
A lot
all
of
sorts of
different-
side
yeah.
paths and not really make your point, so don't.
And I mean, and for the present, we talk about the present senior center, but do we also want to mention something about what's presently occurred at 89 Clark? So we have an improved perk test. We have, we are doing a wetlands delineation, the title search is going to be done. I don't know if that's, because those are kind of answer some of the questions that people might have specifically to
Right.
the article, so.
Yeah, or it
um,
could be like, maybe under the, I don't know if it's under the next steps or where it would fit, but there ought to be a,
Presently,
um,
Maybe under next steps.
why, that would probably be under presently, because that's what's actually going on now.
Right, yeah, what's been done, not only just present for the senior center, but present for the steps we've made to reach 89 Clark as a, so for those people that didn't follow the feasibility study, do we kind of go through the steps that have been taken to date to come to that, to come to that decision? Because that's not really covered here, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of explaining about the center as it is, but not about the process that we've taken to date. So, we had people may not know we had a feasibility study done.
Well, it
you
was
know?
mentioned in the
Mentioned.
past,
Yeah,
I'm
but,
thinking that what you're talking
Yeah,
about
it's-
should be
it's
on the
there.
past
you could just do
page.
like a little
Yeah.
section on chronology,
yeah,
senior center, whatever it was, feasibility study met from,
formed April,
April, whatever.
32 meetings later.
21 to,
And
December
that would begin-
22 or
Well,
whatever.
it was,
be
yeah,
up
April
front.
to April.
Just do chronology, well, it could be-
Yeah.
it could be,
Yeah.
I don't know where it could be, but just do a chronology, or-
How do we get to this
Yeah,
place?
Exactly.
First of all, we received the notification of the monies. We did the study.
Yeah.
In the study, it was determined,
Yeah.
this was the preferred location by the public.
So maybe do that in the beginning and then hop to like a section of the reasons why, or should that, like kind of start with that, giving?
No, I mean, you kind of do start with the donation.
Right.
And the
And then-
generosity of
Yeah.
Red Parsons. And then, so the exploratory committee, is that the senior center feasibility committee?
That was
Or is that
that
the
was beforehand. So the exploratory committee was
the COA
before-
board members that, yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't remember exactly what we were called, because I didn't put COA board members because I was on it,
Right,
but I was
right.
a board member. So I didn't know that.
Okay, I mean, that's,
I think that when you add, if the chronology is first, that's sort of like, I don't know, if I'm just sitting there, I know nothing. So I see this chronology, and then you're up to right now,
right,
right?
here we are.
And then we're going back.
Yeah.
Right.
I just thought maybe the chronology should be the powerful ending.
And yeah, I mean, as long as we have it, I think is.
I think we need to have it,
Do
but
that at the end.
I think at the end, that's a good thing to end with.
Shows all the work that's been
Yeah.
done.
Work, yeah,
Yeah.
it sort of combines everything you've been talking about, but
Okay.
But I just think it's important to include all the hard work that's been done to date and
yep.
Yeah,
all the
that's what,
feedback and-
I
Yep.
thought putting all the different committees there kind of showed.
yeah.
This isn't something that was, a quick decision.
And the dates, I think, I'll have to go back and I have minutes.
So this is something that's totally different. It was for public safety that Scott shared from Taunton,
Okay.
but this gives an idea of a timeline.
Timeline. Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting.
Can you send that
yeah.
to me?
Oh, that's
That would be
nice.
great.
That's good.
I really do like that. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, if you could send it to everybody, that'd be great.
That'd be good.
Something like that. I mean, it's, simple, but it gets you all the,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's it's a good
Yes.
visual.
Yep.
Instead of just always bullets. I mean, bullets are good, but, just to
Yeah.
have
need
the,
something.
Right, it's kind of a nice quick read. for
Right, and that's
people
where, see,
while
like,
they're
they've
sitting
got
there.
even the little photo or description of their potential future center.
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yep.
So you could kind of give people,
do that. Yep.
whatever, just a thought.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Yeah, I
Thought it
love
was
that.
very helpful. In my own brain.
That was good.
So does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so, we'll take a look at that and hopefully finalize everything by the next meeting, I
Yeah.
guess.
Just one on that future. Since you've got the current group 60 and older is 2,000 whatever there, that fourth bullet, I think you could almost put that right up there too. Current
The 600,
60 and
yes, you
over are
could.
that many,
Yeah,
and
that's- yep.
there's another 600
Yep,
that will,
Yeah, I
in
just
the
got
next
it.
few
That
years.
will benefit.
Got that from-
Yeah,
I know.
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Something like that, you might just combine those.
Actually, it was 597 or something. It was
Or
probably
something
a week
round
ago,
it.
it's probably over to.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember, we lost 4, right? With it. Oh, that was the total
Oh, we
population.
lost more than the total population and gained more over 60.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense, but.
And 2,000, I don't even know if that's the accurate number. I mean, it's
What?
kind of the 2,000 square feet. I mean, that was kind of the number we used.
That was the number
Oh.
used in the feasibility study.
Right, that's the
But
number.
right,
just
did they
assumed it
actually
was-
measure that?
I'm not sure
I don't know.
if it's even that big, but
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
I think we kind of settled on that number because senior centers are divided into 2,000 square feet
Right,
or greater.
right. I know,
I
exactly.
mean, we could do a quick measurement and get the square
Yeah,
footage.
can we walk up the tiles or something?
Yeah, honestly, they're 1-foot tiles, we could
They
do
are.
it pretty quick, so.
It may come out to be 2,000 square feet. I think we kind of rounded up to that number, but I'd be curious if it's
Yeah, I'm
less than
curious.
that.
Yeah, we can
Just to throw that out.
correct that.
Yeah, I like that timeline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was
do too.
nice.
That's-
I think that's really good.
I have a question about bullet 3,
Which page are we on? The
future.
future? Okay.
and it says, "New facilities have shown an increase in usage double and triple," but then it says 25%.
Well, yeah, that's just something I got from the most recent Massachusetts senior centers.
Oh, the thing
Did a
I
survey,
said?
did a survey of new buildings, and they averaged
Right.
25% more use the first year. You can just take that out, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of
doesn't add
conflicted
anything.
with what we heard from
Right.
Hadley and South Hadley
Yes,
when we
it was more.
visited them. They said they're, I mean, the numbers were pretty low to begin with in their old
Yeah.
facilities. So they really, that first year, almost doubled.
That
Yeah,
can be
easily
taken out.
double or triple
Yeah.
in the first year.
Yep.
So, but then, this report that Doug put out from Lifespan
Yep.
was more broad.
Broad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I would take that out.
I mean, even if we say local facility, new facilities, new senior centers in Hadley and South Hadley have stated that their attendance doubled after a new building, after the completion of a new building or
Well, we
something.
could probably just leave it as local, maybe
Yeah.
local, instead of maybe, then it could, instead of just saying it's only 2, you could just say
Oh, no,
local.
yeah.
Local facility.
Local communities
Or neighboring.
that have.
Yeah.
Neighboring communities,
Yeah.
yeah. Because, I mean, you say Hadley and people are going to say, but they have a lot of
Right, well,
commercial.
that's what I
to go
mean,
down that road,
spec-
so,
yeah,
that's a good point.
exactly.
Yep, yep. Okay. Anything else to add in? The outdoor space is nice. That would be really the back of the senior center, right?
Yeah, it would look something just like that,
Just down the
actually.
road, yep,
Yeah.
just down the
I
back.
stole
So-
that one off the internet, not off the feasibility.
Okay,
I know, that's nice.
that's a good one. All right, any other, you guys have enough to go to another
A
step?
lot of good ideas,
Yeah.
Do you, are you on a tight schedule? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
When do you,
Wednesday,
Wednesday?
Ah.
Surgery.
yep.
You still have time to type, good.
I'll be like my less than one finger that I usually have.
Okay,
I
everybody
know.
capture what we needed from that, and again, I appreciate the 3 of you working on this too, and everybody's feedback on that is very helpful, so. Okay, report from that. So I know we keep promoting, it's in the newsletter about the annual town meeting, we've made the offer for the van if people, really want to come and just don't want to drive in the evening, and hopefully we don't have a May snowstorm.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
But, again, encourage everybody at whatever age they are to come and support it, so. And it is a simple majority, it's not 2/3, so that makes it easy, and just as a reminder, it doesn't have to go on the ballot for a ballot vote, which is always more, you always get more people there than you do at the town meeting, so. So we'll keep working on that. I haven't had a chance to call the ethics board. I will do that before our next meeting. My understanding is the gentleman from John Vilas's staff that I met with to talk about grant opportunities has moved on to
Neil.
Representative Neil, so I will speak to his other individual and make sure that doesn't get dropped
Right.
off there. And again, I'm not sure anything from the grant committee, Chris, or nothing's come
No,
across?
I actually did check with this one-stop grant program. Scott and I had a phone call with Ann Goby from the Director of Rural Affairs. They don't do construction stuff. So even finding anything like pre-construction, she was pretty skeptical on. We were trying also for the Public Safety Committee, just do pre-construction architectural design, and apparently none of these little grant programs that they've consolidated into one big program now at state level want to deal with construction.
So she didn't have any ideas of,
Really?
Do we know what Worthington did?
that's a green,
Well, they had a green thing for part of their interior, but I don't know where they got the construction money. Must have been bonding, town money? I don't know. I mean, I
but
don't
the
know
2
that
million
got
they
any
got
grant.
was for,
It was for green infrastructure or HVAC or something, so they got some money from Richie Neal's office, I think. But that was only for a feature of the inside of the building. It wasn't,
I think that's what, the one up, way up past Greenfield,
not Irving, no, that's
Irving.
Irving.
they had some sort of it was paid because they did hydro.
yeah.
Right,
So there's
yeah.
those kinds of things you could probably get when you get to a little feature or
Once-
something like that.
once-
a green
yeah.
Yeah, we
especially.
got really mixed reviews on that too when we met with Irving.
Yeah, Yeah, I think we have to be, a little more cautious on
Yeah.
the grants.
But anyway, just basic construction stuff is, I don't know, we're not getting over yet. So far, it's not.
But from a fundraising perspective, I mean, the Friends of the Senior Center, or the Friends of Council on Aging is developing a website. There will be a nice donate page, whether it's may pay memberships. They are looking at doing some fundraising. It's not major yet, and they are talking about maybe having a dance of some sort, whether it's in November at the country club or whatever. So those folks who had those kind of ideas.
Pickleball tournament.
We're having a pickleball tournament, but, I mean, these are, and a golf outing, but these are to raise like $2,000
Right,
each. It's
right.
not, but we'll chip away,
Yeah.
but we still have to decide, what's our, sorry folks, what's our target for that, so. But I think they're really trying to get some new ideas together and get greater funding coming in. But the donation button will help, I think, to give people access to make a donation, whether it's anonymous or named, and it won't be just filling out a handwritten form. So I think it's a little more confidentiality involved as well. So, all right. Before anything else for our meeting, before we move to executive session. Anything else for this meeting? I guess we can schedule our next meeting and then move to executive session if you'd like to do that. So April 18th, that's our 2-week? Does that make sense still?
I will be out of town
You will.
Be out of town.
a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know you're gonna be gone.
That works
And I'm
for
sorry,
me.
what was the date?
The
18th.
18th, so it's 2 weeks from today.
12:30 again?
Yes, 12:30 seems to work. Is there anything we
We've got
need?
public safety
Oh,
video.
Yeah, I was just
11 or
gonna say
11:30-ish.
11:30, so actually.
So that's-
COA.
That's going to be here, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
at COA at 11:30.
It's downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should.
So it's about an hour, right?
Yeah, I mean, the video's 20 minutes. It's like,
And
yeah,
any
you will- no,
questions
shouldn't be
and
more
stuff?
than an hour or two. So, I've got it at 11 o'clock, I think.
11:30.
Okay.
Should we do one? or
Should we do one?
1:30?
We could do
Yeah,
one.
why don't we
Let's
do
do
one?
one.
Just to not cut it too close.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, I'm like, the 18th, why do I?
Yeah, I know, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Too many things.
What did we just say? I'm sorry, what time?
18th at 1
18th
o'clock.
at 1. And, okay. So the process to go into executive session, we need to make a motion to enter executive session. Do we have someone to make a motion to move
Make
into
a
executive
motion to move into
session?
executive session.
And do I read it now, or? Yeah, okay, so the executive session to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if the chair declares that an open meeting may be detrimental effect on a negotiating position of the public body. So we have a motion to move into executive session. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Christina. All in favor?
We need a roll call vote.
Oh, roll call vote, thank you. Roll call vote. Jerry?
Aye.
Christina?
Hi.
Darcy? Not voting.
Aye.
Chris? Dennis? Chris?
Fowles eye.
Kane, aye. Okay, so we are
And you're
into
not,
executive, yep.
not returning to public
And we
session?
will not be returning to.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.